Oh, what's going on, guys? Let me get everything set up. Hope everyone had a good day. Hope everyone likes this Monday off thing. I've been loving it. I don't know about you guys, but really it's been like pretty dead on Mondays for the most part. Remember, the reason that Mondays suck is usually there's data that comes out later on in the week. And Monday, at the beginning of a week, going into heavy data, is likely just an accumulation or a distribution before the actual move. And then that distribution and that move actually is facilitated by or through I guess, under the guise of the news, right? And I mean, it really starts from Monday. You can go back the week prior, et cetera, et cetera. But Mondays are typically days that you just kind of want to sit out, watch price, see what it ends up doing. And really, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is when that price gets facilitated through the use of news. Okay. So Mondays have been really slow. Today was actually a little bit different, which was surprising. Luckily, though, on Friday, yeah, Thursday, Friday, I repositioned into the Tesla January 2024 calls. And I told everyone I went pretty heavy. I mean, I went my traditional size, right around 15-20 for a swing, something that I was comfortable losing or going down a significant amount on. If you guys watched the weekly scan from yesterday, I don't know why I was thinking a week back. I mean, it's been pretty much the same, guys. I mean, if we go to the monthly chart really quickly, you guys will notice, I mean, it's the same exact spot, right? If we just take it from here, right, we end up kind of pulling this level. This monthly low from June really held these previous, or I guess the previous month's candle, and is really holding the low from this month of November. And I mean, that was essentially my risk on the trade. Now, if we go to the weekly chart, we take a look, right? We had this weekly high, candle close above on the weekly, right? And then we come into, I would say, like, mid 2023, you have this candle that broke under, okay? But this is what created a really nice swing point, right around this 217 level. Yeah, or no, 212, I apologize, 212. And then it made its way up and had a candle close here, right, which is a really important level that we wanted to keep in mind, right? This is what really created that 220-ish zone. And then obviously pushed up. We had our lower highs on the weekly, and then we pushed back down, right? We pushed right back down. We ended up kind of trying to fight for this close right here, this higher low or this swing low from August. Candle closed on it, right? It kind of pushed up, but then eventually closed under. It tapped this supply level at the time. And really, the past 3 weeks have been trying to fight for a candle close not only over the swing low, but into this like demand slash supply, just depending where you're at, right? This is just a big level, in my opinion, for either bulls or bears to claim. Just validating this level either above or below. And the past 3 weeks have been really trying to fight for that spot on top of this 212 level here at the swing point. Um, so that's where I derived this big green box from. You guys know, right? It's like 217.50 to 220.58. Now, I ended up starting the swing as it filled the gap down here, right? We ended up filling the gap. I don't know why this is black. Let's just go green, right? Yeah, green. Um, yeah, 206. Remember, that was a big spot last week. This is where I restarted everything on Friday, Thursday. And then we had the huge move on Friday off of 206. We got a candle close over the swing low now, this 212 from August. And then today, my big thing that I told everybody, I was like, okay, hey, I'm positioned 15 cons in this. This is my full size position. There is potential to add into this if this pulls back to like 210, right, or to 212. Now, this morning, price obviously opened right around here, right, like 215, and then it dipped down into that 212, 210 level. Very simple. I added on the contracts, and I went pretty heavy. I'm kind of ashamed of how heavy I went, but I added pretty heavy down here into this 212 spot. I was willing to lose under 200, right, which is that monthly level, way back here. I probably would have cut under 206 once I saw the actual amount I would have been down. But nonetheless, I did add, and I was, willing at the time to lose at 200, but probably would have been 206. And then really, once this caught, we were looking for this to trade through 217.65 and that 220, big 2 weekly spots there, and then really attack this spot up here, right, which is that 225 to 226.37. And I still think we might need a little bit more time to actually break that level. This isn't advice at all, but I've been telling everybody that, hey, like, since I'm already down to runners too, my ultimate target's 233 and then potentially press into the gap up here at 242. But I did want to mention that there is an opportunity for the late bloomers, right? I know a lot of people don't like to take trades unless, candles are moving green or already in their favor, then they'll take calls. Remember, if you kind of want your thinking to be reversed, you don't want to be doing that. But whatever, we'll move on from that. So if anybody wants to trade this, right, the breakout spot's 226.37, right? Ideally, we get this right here. Oh crap, it's gonna do this thing really quick. I hate when it does this, guys. I'm so sorry. I don't know why it always resets to black. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah, there we go. So ideally, I want it to come back down, hit this 220, which is this daily spot here, right? And then we think about it, this is the gap from back here, okay? So huge spot. I want it to hit here, press out, right? It's going to look a little weird because it's on the daily. Base on this level, trade 233, maybe even press out 242. I think it's going to go 233, right? Probably something like that. Maybe like base on this and then kind of press out again. I'm looking for something like that. But if there is going to be a breakout trade tomorrow, let's say we don't get the test down here at 220, I'd say it kind of pushes up here, hits the top of the gap, right, which is right here, sells down. You want to see it hold the top of this this daily level, right? This is a big resistance right here. This gave a nice little move. So there's clearly sellers at 225, 226, but then you'd look for it to trade to the print, maybe a little bit above, base, and then hit 242. Now the trade's not done here. I still think there's a whole new trade once we get to this 242. I would like to see it base here and then to start attacking, right, the lower highs on the weekly here, which would be right around here, right? That's one of them, I think. Yeah, and then the other one's up here, 278. We'll just round it to 280. But we'd be looking for it to push to like 270, 280 flat. We'll just round these numbers up. But these are the two weekly highs in sell side, right? And then that's pretty much what I'd be looking at for the whole trade. 300 is a possibility, but that would definitely take some time unless the market just goes crazy in a short period of time. But yeah, I mean, that's essentially the trade recap, guys. If I go to a smaller time frame, you guys will see just how easy this was, right? It ended up opening. It pushed up a little bit into the 217 spot, which remember this is a supply. Bulls and bears are fighting over this little zone equally. But it sold down into the 212 level. Really didn't have too much pressure on a break below. Ended up having a very, very strong candle off. And then it really just kind of, I would expect maybe one more pull down through this imbalance candle. Didn't happen, right? It just kind of gave you, I don't even know. If I go to 1 minute, it probably look like an inverse head and shoulders. But rallied right off of this. Gave you a 3-bar consolidation here near the highs. Pressed out one more time. And really didn't give much of an entry. So I get the FOMO, right? I know a lot of people get FOMO on Tesla because it's very hard to enter when it starts to really get its legs going, because this is all it gives you. It gives you a bar, sell-off candle right in the middle that's still like almost like an inside bar, right? And then it rallies again, consolidates 2-3 bars, goes 3 bars, goes, and it's really difficult to get in without feeling like you're chasing. But I mean, it is what it is, man. You got to take these entries early, especially when the iron's hot. Tesla gives you these opportunities like this. I know a lot of people, and I mentioned it too, there was that inverse head and shoulders. I mean, my big tell was the gap fill and go. So, I mean, we're really just looking for this 225, 226 level to give a nice breakout trade into the gap. But that's really the trade recap, man. There's nothing else to it. That's all I did today. I mean, I didn't really do much else. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll transition into the weekly or the daily scan or the nightly scan after this. So let me go ahead and upload this. I hope you guys enjoyed. I mean, dude, you guys got to realize I alerted this trade back here. I alerted the same exact trade down here, right? And really, this has been a big position I've been talking about. So try to get you guys in as quickly as I could, as best as I could. I feel like all my entries were pretty solid, and then adding at the right spots, especially this 206 spot. But all hope is not lost. There's still availability off 220 and then off 226.37 to trade into the gap here. And then at the gap, I'd be a little bit hesitant. Obviously, at the gap itself, there's going to be sellers. We know the print's at 233, and this would also be kind of like a test of the downtrend or uptrend line, right? But we're testing it from the upside, so will be interesting either way. But that's going to conclude that. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys made a lot of money. I know over in Gavin's or IDK6, I kind of talked about this trade a lot. A lot of those guys killed it. I know a lot of you guys in here did very well. Remember, if you missed the trade, don't feel FOMO. Don't feel bad. There's always opportunity, and I just gave you 2 different opportunities that could arise tomorrow and the end of this week. But this is my #1 focus on this chart. I think this thing is ready to go. So take care.